Welcome to the Mind Body Business Show. The 3 keys to your success is just moments away. Here's your host, Brian Kelly.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mind Body Business Show. My goodness, we have a phenomenal show lined up for you tonight. Not because of me, but because of our special guest expert. She is an amazing, extremely talented young lady, and I can't wait to introduce her to you. Before we jump into that, the Mind Body Business Show. If you're new to this show, then let's explain what that is. What is the Mind Body Business Show? Well, in my 54 years on this planet, circling around the sun, thank you for every single one of them, and to many more, I hope. I have learned many things, and one of those is I started following and focusing on successful entrepreneurs and business people. And once I started focusing on those people, and that's through going to seminars, networking events, becoming personal friends with many, and by reading a lot of books, I found that there were 3 main patterns that developed to their success. And the 3 areas, as you might guess, are in the areas of mind, body, and business. So with mind, that's mindset. And with mindset, you've heard and read undoubtedly many times the power of a positive mind. And it can get even deeper and better. And you can get a much more greater result if you were to be able to tap into and reprogram your subconscious mind. And thankfully, there is such a science that enables us to do that, and that's called neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP for short. Now, we may not go into that tonight. We cover various topics each and every night along each of the 3 main pillars of success, I like to call them. And then there's body. What does that mean? Well, those successful people that I have focused on, I recognize the pattern of they take care of themselves. They really take care of themselves with the body. They exercise on a regular basis, consistent, disciplined. They also feed themselves with nutrition, with good nutrition. They eat clean to a person. So successful people have developed a very rock solid mindset, either through NLP or not. Others have done it without it. And business, what is that all about? Well, those that are successful have mastered the key major components of business, and that's things like marketing, sales, systematizing, team building, scaling, all of those. And that is what this show is all about. We bring the best of the best to this show each and every week for you. This show is for you so that you can get value, so you can take these incredible golden nuggets of information and wisdom from our guests and immediately apply them. That's what it's all about. And I'm excited to bring on our guest here in just a moment. It just reminded me of the fact that one of the things that I made a big mistake in earlier in my life, going back, it's got to be around 8, 9, maybe 10 years ago, where I was invited to a gentleman's office. He was the CEO of a company, multimillionaire, and we were about to cut a deal. And he flew me out there, picked me up in a limousine, put me up in a hotel. I was there for a couple of days. And at one point, we're just casually having a conversation. And at one point, he said to me, Brian, if people only did this one thing, if they just did this one thing, they'd all become rich. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. What is it? So I was sitting in his couch in his office at the time, and he was standing and talking to me in front of me. So he turned around, walked back to the opposite wall, and there was this floor-to-ceiling cabinet. And this cabinet had 2 doors, and he grabbed the handles of both, and he opened them up. And what was revealed behind was very similar to what you see right behind me, and that was shelf after shelf after shelf of books. And he said, that's the secret. Now, these weren't just any books. These were books on business, on marketing, sales, team building, on personal development, on mindset. Everything that makes successful people just that, successful. And the mistake I made was I absolutely discounted that advice. I said, no way, to myself. I didn't say this to him, but in my mind, I'm thinking, that's it? All you have to do is read books. It cannot be that simple. Now, granted, you have to put in effort After you read a book and learn, you need to actually put it into action. But to be the beginning point of becoming, very successful, just read books. I can go to the library and, get a book for free, any of those books. So there's no skin in the game. So I'm thinking there has to be some kind of pain involved beyond just the time it takes to read. So anyway, fast forward many years, several years, thankfully, another mentor of mine that I became very close with, worked with him side by side, spoke from his stage, helped train his students, was in his house many times. And one of those times he's walking around and he's got a headset on. I say, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And he kind of lifts it up and he goes, "Huh? Well, I'm listening to a book." And I said, "What? You're listening to a book? That's a new one on me. Tell me more about that." And so he explained it was a book you can listen to. You can listen to books on something called Audible. Very common now. Back then it wasn't so common. I thought, wow, I have to give this a try. And I did. And I learned that I love listening to books. I don't particularly like opening a book and having my eyes scan pages. I find I get fatigued and tired, and I'm not interested after a very short period of time. But listening, oh my gosh, all day long, every day, no problem. And a beautiful thing with this application is I discovered that you can tap a button on your phone or whatever device you're listening on, and it will instantly bookmark, set a spot in time of what you're listening to instantly. So if I'm listening to something, a book, and something really is compelling, I tap the bookmark. And I can do that as many times as I like, depending on the book. And so I started doing that, and I started reading voraciously, book after book after book. And so what I like to do is segue into a little segment that I appropriately called bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
Yes, reachyourpeaklibrary.com. And for those of you, a quick reminder if you're watching, even if you're listening on a recorded podcast later or recorded video, is get out a notepad and be ready to take notes. And we're going to be discussing several resources. Both myself and our guest are going to be discussing different resources. The best thing for you to do now is just write those down. In other words, don't run off and visit them. Stay with the show. If we give you a website address, write it down, visit it later. Sound good? I hope that comes through loud and clear, because I am the show host and I personally take about a page of notes myself, which means that everyone watching should do at least 3. So that's my challenge to you. I hope you're up for it. All right. Reach Your Peak Library. What is that? I put this together personally. Personally, not for me, not for anyone but you. There's the entire story of the gentleman. That's all there in video form if you want to see the longer version. But here we are, book after book after book of books that I have personally read. These are books that had an impact on me. Not necessarily every book I've read has had an impact on me. And if they don't, they're not in this list. And so this is a resource for you. You can go on there and you can read either through Audible or hardcover, whatever is available. I put it on this website. And this, again, is my gift to you, 100%, totally. Because what happens if you haven't started reading yet? Where do you start? This would be a good place, because at least you can say one person who's successful has vetted these books on your behalf. And if you're a voracious reader like I am already, you're always looking for more resources, more books, and perhaps you might find 1 or 2 or even more on this site that would intrigue you to get your next book right there. And so what I like to do on each show is play a little snippet of a bookmark from one such book that I've recently read. And tonight I've chosen a book on neuro-linguistic programming because it's all about mindset. And our guest expert is the epitome of a very powerful mindset. So go ahead, get out those pens and notebooks. This is about a minute in length, not very long, and get ready to take some notes. Here we go.
As early as 1983, Time magazine recognized that NLP has untapped potential for treating individual problems and has become an all-purpose self-improvement program in technology. Science Digest thinks NLP could be the most important synthesis of knowledge about human communication to emerge since the 1960s. Paul Hershey, co-developer with Kenneth Blanchard of Situational Leadership, points to NLP as a way of improving our ability to influence others. And Norman Vincent Peale recognizes NLP as a truly new and unique approach, the power to reprogram your own thoughts and behaviors. NLP offers you proven effectiveness. It's already been successfully applied to personal change, organizational development, sports, sales, and management, to name but a few.
Yeah, and there you have it. And the reason I picked that particular snippet, because on occasion, I will run into someone that's either, number one, never heard of NLP, or number two, isn't really sure it's a real science or a real thing or beneficial. And here's the thing, you just heard how many people back it. In addition to that, there are star athletes. Oprah Winfrey has talked about using NLP on her show, heads of state, actual colleges, institutions. So NLP is on the rise in use because it's a proven science and a phenomenal tool. And it just provides you with a way of reprogramming your mind to serve you better, much quicker than any other form ever discovered that I'm aware of. Literally within 7 minutes, as an example, you can go through a process that will clean out the weeds in your brain permanently. I've been through it myself. I'm an NLP practitioner myself, so just wanted to give that snippet to you so you can go research that. You can reach out to me later if you're interested in learning more. You can reach out to our guest expert because she might have a connection for you that would be phenomenal. And speaking of our guest expert, enough of Brian blabbing. It's time to get to our guest expert because that's what this show is all about. So let's bring her on, shall we?
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, Amélie Ohpolly. I hope I said that last name good. I'm getting practice.
You did.
Sweet. Oh, thank you so very much for coming on this show this evening, Amélie. I cannot tell you how excited I am, not only about you, but for you because of what we're going to reveal tonight.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
I am so thankful to be on here.
This is going to be awesome. All right. So quick intro. Amélie is a 16-year-old student in Atlanta, Georgia. You wouldn't know by looking at her. 16 and mature beyond years. I cannot tell you. Just talking to her before the show came on. Phenomenal young woman. She finds joy by spending time with like and open-minded souls and always loves a good laugh. And that's true too. Due to her passion for Mother Earth and smoothies, she has recently founded Atlanta's first sustainable smoothie service. And this just in, another phenomenal accomplishment by this young woman is she just recently starred in a short film called The Boogie Woman. And it is going to be premiering at the world's biggest short film festival in France this coming week. That is amazing. Congratulations on
so
one
excited.
and all.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And so as we get into, before, that was one thing I forgot to remind everybody, that we do have a special giveaway for tonight. And that is, stay on to the very end, and I will reveal how you can win a 5-night stay, there's the 5, at a 5-star luxury resort in Mexico. All compliments of my good friends at powertexting.com. And stay on to the end, and we will announce that. So all you have to do is stay on, and then you can enter to win that. It is a phenomenal vacation stay. It is high caliber. High caliber. All right, back to the guest of the hour. Oh my, there's so many things I want to ask you. I'm trying to go back to when I was 16, and it's just, honestly too far for me to go back. So I'm curious, Amélie, when you get up and you think about your day, I mean, you have school. You still have school.
I do.
and you're also an entrepreneur, and
Yes.
now also an actress. And
Yes,
that's
I
a
am.
lot. You're a very active young lady. So what is the driving force behind all that? What motivates you to get up and get moving each and every day doing so much?
The thought that each day there are endless opportunities out in the world for me, meeting new people, new opportunities, just go out into the sun is what motivates me. Even if that means I have to wake up at 5:30 and deliver smoothies that I enjoy making so much. I am still, there's something so motivating about a new day, a fresh start, a clean slate. I love it. I love the feeling of getting up and being excited about a new day where I don't know what's going to happen, even though I know for sure that I'm going to have 6 hours where I will be in school. Maybe something happens there. Maybe during my lunch break when I go to the cafe, I meet someone who might change my life.
What a great attitude. And, you know, part of that, I would imagine, is because you decided to go venturing down and have, you know, start your own business.
Yes.
That gives you more of a focus and a drive, something to go toward. And it's not just that would drive. I mean, I think other things drove me to get up at 16 as well. My then girlfriend, now wife. Yes, that's right. High school sweetheart.
Wow.
Oh, that made me get up every day. I was like, yes, I get to see her again. Whew. It still works to this day, I tell you. And so many things, but you and your entire family, because I have now met both of your parents, not in person, but on this show, because they're both so amazing. Both
are.
highly successful entrepreneurs in their own right and in their own genres. So, and you come off to me as also a very, very positive individual. And,
Thank you.
you know, I remember going back to those times. I wasn't always positive because those are turbulent times. They were for me. You know, growing up, so many things were changing mentally, bodily, and you're getting close to now reaching adulthood. A lot of stuff going on, you know, because you're getting to the point of college, right? If that's in your path. And so when it comes to you, Amélie, maintaining a positive and productive mindset, a successful mindset, is there something you do on a regular basis to sustain that?
The first thing that comes to my head is physical activity. So working out, going to the gym, yoga. I find even if it's just 5 minutes a day, getting my stretch in really clears my mind. And if I'm feeling overwhelmed with school or whatever it's on my plate, it gives me some space and time to breathe and center and ground myself.
Wow, you took my next question out of my mouth. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Great.
Yeah, I get the fortune of seeing the posts from your mom and your dad, and you guys as a family. You have a sister as well, is that correct?
Yes.
And as a family, you guys often go to the gym, is that correct?
Yeah, we go about 5 to 6 times a week.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive for one person to do that, but they'll drag 4, an entire family?
Oh, 4 that are willing.
So are we not always willing? Is that what we're saying?
Oh, there are times where we're not always willing.
Yeah. You know, that's just human nature, and no matter what age, kid you not. It's that's just normal. And thankfully, your parents are instilling in you a habit that's going to last you a lifetime, and I know that.
I'm endlessly grateful for that as well, yeah.
Yeah, and see, you're always grateful. She said this many times as we were talking behind stage before we came on here, and I love that. That's going to take you very, very far. And the thing with the influence of, so the beautiful thing is, Amélie, when you end up with your own family in the future, and you still have this habit of health, of healthy exercise, of healthy nutrition because it was handed down to you. Because what happens is you find you wave off from it. I can't think of the right word. On occasion, as you get older, this happened to me. I was deep in exercise, working out, eating right, and then I got out and went to college, and I started exercising less. Then I got a job. Oh my gosh, exercising less. Then married, then kids, less, 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 less. But I remembered it was always there. Man, I felt so good when I was doing it on a regular basis. So I kept coming back. It always pulled me back in a great, wonderful way. And so just think about the seed they've planted in you is going to be the seed you implant on the next generation of you and those around you, your colleagues, your co-workers, those that are working for you, and maybe those co-starring with you on certain things like a movie or a short film.
Yeah, that is something beautiful. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, I think that's a good place to segue. I want everyone to be able to see this young lady in action, because literally this film is just now going to be what do you call it? What's the word? Premiered. Thank you. Premiered in France at the world's biggest film festival. It's called The Boogie Woman. I love that title. And the headliner star is this young lady right here. Oh, what perfect timing for her name to pop up. Look at that. The star, the one and only. Would that be all right with you if we brought that up real quick?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Let me bring it up. And everybody have a look at this. This is pretty cool stuff. Oh, yeah. And there it is. I want to pause it there. Look at the top name.
Oh, yeah.
Hoeferle. So happy for you. If I was a parent, I would say so proud of you. Just ecstatic about the fact that you have that. And I cannot wait to hear the backstory. How did this come to fruition? How did you become, quote unquote, discovered?
So it all happened when I was doing online school a few years ago, about 2 years ago. And I was so sick of my at-home environment. I said, I need to get out of the house. So I went to the local coffee shop in Cleveland, Tennessee. Very, very, very small town. And I sat myself down, put my head down, worked, studied. And about half an hour in, I realized that there are a set of eyes on me. And I just feel them lingering there. And I go back to my work, and every few minutes I look up and this woman keeps looking at me. I finish up my work, I head out, and before I get to walk out, the woman stops me that was looking at me and says the most cliche, sketchy thing ever and goes, "Have you ever been interested in acting?" And I go, yes. I didn't exactly know what to say. I had done a few theatrical things, but nothing serious. And so she gave me her card. I was pretty scared. And it turned out to be fine. It was very professional after that. We emailed back and forth, and I ended up going to an audition where she told me that she was writing a screenplay, and as soon as she saw me, she saw the girl that she was picturing in her mind for her movie. And so I auditioned. It went really well. 3 months after, she sent me an email saying that she's been wanting to tell me this since 3 months, but that I finally got the part. And we held the actual casting in my house. I met some wonderful people, and then got to act with them in the movie.
I mean, is that a Cinderella story or what? I mean,
It seems a little surreal, yeah.
I'll bet you there are a lot of actors or aspiring actors and actresses right now that are not happy with you. But one thing that Amélie did that many would not, because she was in a situation that was of discomfort. Who wouldn't be when you have a stranger coming up and saying that cliche line? I mean, gosh, just think if that was a male doing that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be a absolute.
I don't think it would have gone the route it did.
But the thing is, you were open enough because you don't have like formal training in being an actor, correct?
Yeah.
Before that.
No, I don't.
And
I
so
did not.
most people that I know that I've been around before I started focusing on those that were successful, most of those people would just say, you know what, I'm not good enough. No, that's probably not. I probably don't. No. You made the decision. You made the right decision. In this case, you said yes. Right? And
Yes.
So many things are not happening in people's lives because the unwillingness to decide yes and to stay in their comfort zone and stick with no. And that's the beautiful thing about what you did. So in my book, you earned the right to have that role. Not only did you do that, then tell us what happens next. I mean, you had to go through, so you went through the casting, you went through, you got chosen. Was it, we're talking, you told me it was a short film. It's a 17-minute film.
Yes.
And so that must have taken like, what, a day or two to shoot, right?
It actually took 10 days. Yeah, quite some time for 17 minutes. I had the time of my life. Absolute best time. I met the most wonderful people ever. And it was also difficult at times. There was a full day where we shot exactly one scene over and over and over again. And I was confined to a stall, your regular, not very wide stall, with the cameraman either behind me standing on the toilet or in front of me, with on either side a sound and another sound guy, and then somewhere in the mix some lights. And on that day, I didn't have any dialogue, so it was purely me acting with my body. So that was, I did get frustrated at times during that day, I can confidently say.
What did that kind of experience teach you?
It taught me a lot. It taught me patience. I had to shoot the exact same thing over and over and over again. Patience, and also a lot of admiration for the work that goes into it outside of the acting. They had to do the exact same thing over and over and over again. And it taught me to be gentle with myself, because the more I got frustrated, the worse my acting got. And when I had a few minutes to center myself and come back and feel what my character was feeling in that moment, that's what really made me get into the moment. So staying in the moment was a big thing that I learned on that day.
And did it stretch you a little bit to have to like portray what you're thinking and feeling without words and just use your body and facial expressions?
Oh yeah, it definitely stretched me. And it was a good learning day. It was definitely amazing. I now know how to express myself without saying a word.
Fantastic. And so this will only serve you for the rest of your life. It'll be the first stepping stone.
Totally.
And so excited because you're going to France here this weekend. You're heading out for, what was it, an 8-day event?
Yes, it's an 8-day event.
8-day event, multiple screenings of your film along with others. And I can only imagine that great things will happen. I don't know if you can say or not, but have any doors opened as a result?
Yes, doors have opened. I should not say more than that, but doors have
Understood.
definitely opened.
We'll respect that. And the point of that was the answer yes, because once again, Amélie said yes. She decided.
Yes.
I actually teach this from stage at my live events in the importance of one word, and that one word is yes. Because so often, again, it's so easy just to get back under the covers into our little comfort zone and say, no, not today. I'm just going to stay where I'm at, all cozy. And because you did it, you know, I mean, don't say yes to any stranger out there, you guys watching, listening, just to say yes. Be sure to, you know, give them a good once over, make sure they're the right person. If you're someone of Amélie's age, be sure to check with your parents and have a meet and all that stuff before you go any farther. But definitely, just the fact that you went that far says a lot about your mindset. Even though some people may think, well, Brian, it's no big deal. Let's just say yes. It's like, you'd be surprised how many would default the other way. A larger percent, much larger, than would say yes. So good job. So proud and excited. Man, I can't wait. Can't wait. And you just, I got to say it. This is your first live interview after being a movie star, huh?
It sure is. I believe it's my first live interview ever, actually.
There you have it. On the Mind Body Business Show. You heard it here first. Awesome. Hey, you know, we were talking a while back about reading, and I talked about my mistake, and I didn't read for a long time, and then I got into it, and it's changed my life. Would you consider yourself to be an avid reader? Do you enjoy reading? And if so, what are you reading now, or maybe what's your favorite book?
I was the biggest bookworm you could imagine. While I was in middle school, I read everything that I could get my hands on. And it's sad to say that I have gradually read less and less, but I found that each book that I do read now, it's a very good book. The latest book that I read was, I believe it's called Memoirs of a Boy Soldier. It's a true biography of written by Ishmael Bea. I don't believe I'm saying his name correctly. I apologize. It's his story of being a 12-year-old boy being forced to fight in the Civil War in Sierra Leone in, I believe it was 2003. A very moving, touching, powerful book.
Excellent. And did you have takeaways from it? Learnings?
I learned a lot about the Civil War in Sierra Leone and a lot about child soldiers, which is a terrifying thing on its own.
I could not imagine that. Could not imagine that. So, all right, we'll lift it back up. Oh,
yeah.
That's good. And keep up the reading. It's just a phenomenal, phenomenal thing to do. One thing I loved about Audible is I don't have to be sitting anywhere to listen or to watch it or to read it. You know, I don't have to be, you know, with a book, you have to have it in your hands, a physical book, or even on a Kindle or on a device, but you have to be reading it. And so when I'm in the car, which I am in often, I can listen to, and that's where my main library is in my car. Instead of listening to music, more often I will listen to a book. And it's right there. I have it sitting on a nice cradle right there so I can hit that bookmark whenever I'm driving. I just glance down, pop, and keep going. And so that's one way for anyone watching or listening right now that thinks I don't have time to read. Everybody has time to read when they're in a situation like that. What a perfect place is the car. Especially even if you have a passenger, they're going to benefit from what you're listening to as well, as long as you're listening to something good. So that's another tip. So you started a new business, your first, that is delivering smoothies locally. That are what was the key word? It's a sustainable. Yeah, sustainable smoothie service. Explain what that means by sustainable smoothie service.
So we try to create as little waste as possible. I use reusable jars that have a $1 deposit on them. So when I deliver the smoothies to a local gym, I make sure that the person knows that there's a $1 deposit on this jar, and that they can either keep it and I will keep the dollar, or they bring it back, I pick it up, and they get their dollar back. That way, either they reuse the jar or I wash the jar thoroughly and reuse it for a new customer.
That's phenomenal. And what actually ignited the spark for you to even go into that venture to begin with?
So I ventured upon veganism about 3 years ago, and I started making smoothies so much. I still love them. And in the summer of 2018, I was thinking of making a business out of it. I love making them. I've gotten great reviews on them, and I saw a potential summer job at the time, I thought, but now it's ventured off to be more.
That's phenomenal. And so with smoothies being all natural and fresh ingredients, you probably can't ship them too far yet. Is that true?
Not too far yet. Yes, I will try to keep it local for right now. I don't think that the taste would be quite pristine if I were to ship it.
That's fantastic. Have you thought of different ways to expand your business outside of your local community yet?
I have. It's a lot of word of mouth right now. School, gyms near me, if they were to work with any other gyms in the area, I would branch out to that. But I think I will keep it in Atlanta for right now.
Yeah, I mean, you just have a little bit on your plate right now. Just a little bit. You know,
yeah.
Only a full-time student, you know, with her own business, and she's now an aspiring actress who is heading to France. Poor thing. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, boo-hoo. Poor me.
Yes. This is exciting stuff. So expanding and scaling is always a cool thing, and it's exciting. And I love when you said gyms, my ears perked up, because what a perfect place for this idea, this concept. Oh, yeah. And then once you get your foot in the door in one, how many more can you? And then how do you replicate yourself now in, you know, mixing up the recipes, getting the proper natural ingredients and all that. And now you can scale that and not necessarily have to be there. You could be taking that final exam and making, you know, another $50 for the next sales made at the gym. And so I can see that going far. And so you could, now what about all the actors and actresses you're going to come in contact with that, you know, you'll be out there and maybe finding the ingredients. I don't know if France has all the natural ingredients you're looking for. But you can mix them up and have them taste test it. And, you know, maybe even spawn off a whole nother franchise in a different country while you're there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, why not? Because
why not?
It's good to have options, right?
Sure is. Sure is.
Although I have a feeling you're gonna go far in the acting world. I do. I mean, look at the poise and composure of this young lady. She probably doesn't like me reminding everyone, but she's only 16 years old. I find that impressive. I don't say that to say, look how young she is. I think that's impressive. At the way she's holding herself, what she has done, she is an adult already. I mean, completely. And I don't know if her parents would agree. We can have those talks later.
Keep that on the down low.
But I am impressed with you, young woman, and I so am in your corner for this acting career and for your entrepreneurship going forward. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, I have 2 kids of my own. They're both a little bit higher in years, 26 and 23, I think. I'll have to look back. They just, they just keep spinning so fast, the years. But I feel that, I feel what I'm feeling for you through them, like they're my kids. Does that make sense? It just excites me. when I see young, like people who are driven like you. My son is so driven, he goes to the gym. If he misses one day, he goes 7 days a week if he can do it. If he misses one day, he literally gets upset. It's so awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's driven. So everyone has their thing that they're driven.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Could be more than one, but yeah, it is. He actually inspires me in many things. I learn from people like you. I do. I kid you not. My mentor, just to give you a quick aside, when I first met him, and it's still the case, he, by years, by age difference, he literally could be my son.
Oh, wow.
And I look up to him. And I learned a ton from him. He's the one who I spoke of, my mentor that had the Audible listening to. Amazing, amazing young man. Just
that makes me so happy.
Age does not matter to me, nor should it to anyone who's looking for success. You find someone who's successful, regardless age, race, gender, doesn't matter. If they have success, if their values are in alignment with yours, then what I like to say is grab onto them, both ankles, and do not let go, and say, how can I help you?
Agree.
How can I help you? And will you please help me?
Yes.
And that's how it all started for me with this gentleman. His name is Mel Cutler. I love the man. Love him. Yes. All right. This one might be. It may take some time. Maybe it won't. I'm just curious because I, in my life, have looked up to many people. I've been on the earth quite some time now, and there have been a lot of people that have crossed my paths, and I have people that I love and I'm inspired by, and I look up to, like Mel being one of them. For you right now, and it doesn't have to be a person, what would you say at this point has been your greatest inspiration?
You're right. This is a good question. Someone who's always been an inspiration for me. Very cliche answer is about to come your way. My mom, such a power, such a woman. I think about this a lot, how we moved from Germany to a little town in Tennessee when I was 2, with little to nothing but my mother's vision of building a Montessori school and helping others get the education that she wants for her future children is beyond incredible. Her motivation, the sacrifices that she made is, I have no words. It inspires me endlessly, and with everything she does every day, it inspires me, and it motivates me also to get up every morning. That leads back to the first question. But she is not only a vision, but a power.
That's beautiful. I am speechless because I know she is incredibly proud of you. Incredibly proud of you. You are such an achieved young lady, but she's brought you into this world. She's raised you. Her and her amazing husband, your dad, Christian.
Oh yeah.
Power couple, power family.
Power couple. Yes.
Wow. I was actually glad that was your answer, that it was at least one of your parents. So many at that age, that's the last thing they want to have anything to do with is their parents.
Oh no, I want everything to do.
and so that's endearing, that's rare, and I'm glad to hear it, because that's not the typical approach. That just says volumes to me, and this is no surprise to me, about how your mom and dad raised you all. I mean, just phenomenal. Gosh, I bet she's gushing right now if she's watching. Maybe a tear or two. I'd be bawling like a baby. My goodness, that's awesome. So it's been a short time. Have you actually worked or held a job, maybe a part-time job, while in school before you did the smoothie business?
Yeah, I currently babysit on the side as well. So Yeah. Not a steady part-time job as it might be the definition. But I do babysit on the weekends or in my free time.
So is there a difference between doing that and doing your smoothie business, from that to doing entrepreneur, where you kind of call your own shots?
Yeah, it's different in the sense that I babysit in order to, it's not something that I love doing. It's something I enjoy, but it's not the equal amount of passion that I have behind my Santosha smoothies. It's more of saving money for the future as I will need it.
And so if given the choice, which would you rather do full-time to earn income?
Which of what?
Babysitting or smoothie business for now?
Smoothie business.
I knew the answer. I was just throwing that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what if you could, you've done one film, if you could earn a living as an actress or continue with the smoothies? What if you had the choice and you had to choose one? That's a tough one. It might be a tough one, but we're just play acting here. What would you...
I think I would, if I was a shoo-in to be an actress, I think I would take that.
All right. That's very cool. Very cool. I mean, I didn't know that. I wouldn't know which way any person would go, whichever way they want. It's up to them, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has their own vision of their life going forward, but what an opportunity. What an opportunity. Yeah, and that's the thing about you. You're seizing it. You gave that deep thought. That was an authentic answer. It wasn't just immediately, acting because everyone else would say that, right? No, this was because Amélie says that's what she wants to do. You thought about it and said, yeah, acting. Yeah. And even, if that's not a guarantee, nor is a successful smoothie business, is it? Neither are.
Right. Yeah, neither.
And so neither one will be a shoe-in or a sure thing. Right? And even, there are even really prolific actors that cannot find work today, right?
Oh,
They're still looking for work, even after they have had success. So same thing with entrepreneurship. There's no difference. Ask your parents.
Definitely.
It's an up and down, wonderful roller coaster ride. I wouldn't have it any other way. But interesting answer. Okay. I want to learn more about the movie, but I don't know how much you can tell us. Can you tell us the plot?
Yeah, so I can tell you, I'm not very sure that you'll understand it to its entirety. It is, okay, I'll just start. The plot is about a 15-year-old girl who you might say is a late bloomer in bodily wise, but mentally is ahead of everyone else in her friend group. And it's the movie's her journey of going into womanhood and seeing a strong, powerful woman seize the opportunity of stepping into what others might think of as, no, you can't do that, you're a woman. So the Boogie Woman represents the ideal, powerful, yet unexpected woman. And the 15-year-old kind of is inspired by this and follows that. And yeah, it's her journey to becoming a powerful, independent, strong, self-assured woman that scares others around her.
That scares others around her?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's like a plot twist within it.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So who do you think would be the intended audience for that? Like, Male, female, age groups, that kind of thing?
Male, female, any gender, I don't really believe that matters. Age group, I do think that anyone younger than maybe 11 might not fully understand what's going on. To be honest, if I were to watch the movie without having filmed it, I think I would have to watch it about 2 times to fully grasp all the meaning behind the 17-minute film, because there is so much said in silence that for me, I wouldn't be able to pick up in one viewing.
Sounds like a powerful film, only 17 minutes, but you need several times to view it to get the full meaning.
Yeah.
It's got a lot. It's chock full of goodies.
It is. Sure is.
Fantastic.
Yes. All hats off to Erica Scoggins, the producer. Amazing, amazing woman.
Yes, you have Roxy Aguilar Alegria de Salas has chimed in. Does that name ring a bell?
Roxy?
Yeah.
I don't want to offend if I do.
I thought I saw that name somewhere connected with the movie. Maybe not. That's a different person. I'm just looking at Facebook comments. And then Jaylyn Schwert.
Jaylyn Schwert, she is the owner of the gym I deliver to. So
she said, "Great job, Amélie. We're so honored to partner with you. You've got people in your corner cheering you on." I love it. I love it. And yeah, keep the comments and the loves and likes flowing. We love that as well. So now you have embarked on this wonderful journey called entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And you've gotten a taste of it, no pun intended. With the smoothies. If you could characterize it right now in your current, where you are now, you're just beginning, in one word, characterize your life as an entrepreneur, what would that one word be?
New.
New. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
New. I think I've always been one for exciting new things. When I find something new, I tend to stick with it, and then something new comes out of that, and something new comes out of that new thing. So yeah.
That is a refreshing answer. I love it. I love it. And you know, there's a lot of things that we go through as entrepreneurs. The end goal typically is often, and it's one of these difficult to grasp concepts, but it's happiness. You know, everyone, you know, like you see competitions and pageants and they ask them what the biggest goal is, and everyone's always saying to be happy. But what does that mean? You know, what does happiness really mean? And to each person, it might mean something different. You know, a lot of folks will tell you that money does not buy you happiness. I can attest to that. Money by itself just gives you the freedom to go pursue more happiness, in my opinion. But for you, right now, at your current age, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? When I'm surrounded by people that truly mean a great amount to me, and we're out in nature, surrounded by the things that are naturally given to us, and there's laughter in the air, and it's a bright, sunny day. I think that is exactly what makes me happy. Being surrounded by those who I love and who loves me, and nature.
That sounds like a pretty nice picture of happiness to me.
Yeah.
I'm a big family person myself, so that resonated really strong with me. I love that. That was a great description of happiness. And the interesting thing, even at your age, I find this really cool. But you have that entrepreneurial mindset. And one of the things you did not mention was, well, if I had like $5 million in the bank, I'd be happy, something like that, which very often I'm seeing in, it's become a very materialistic world in large part.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And it's not everybody, but a good majority are materialistic driven and want the car and want the house and they want the money and believe that's going to buy them happiness. So that was really cool because we didn't script any of this, did we?
No.
Right. You're not reading from a script like you did from your short film.
Nope.
No script. Yep, look, her hands are free. And so these are authentic answers by an authentic young lady. And look, she's 16. I can learn from her. You can learn from her. Listen to her. There are certain things that we are doing in our lives right now that could be changed. For you, something may have resonated that what she said. Like, what about the woman that came in and just started staring at her kind of weirdly and then asked her, do you like acting? Have you ever considered being an actress? I mean, would you have said yes, you the listener, you the viewer? Would you have said, well, let me take this the next step? Or would you have just said, you know what, nah, I mean, really deep down you want to do it, you've always dreamed of it, but nah, I better pass because I'm probably not good enough or something to that effect. That's something you can learn from Amélie is to say, just say yes. Just step out there, see what happens. The only thing that can happen is something will change in your life and possibly for the better. But it's never going to get better unless something changes in your life. That is the key. Change is good. Getting out of your comfort zone. All right, off of my soapbox preaching.
Very well said. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There's one question to wrap this. Can you believe it? It's 2 minutes away. We're almost done.
Wow.
And this is how they go each and every single time. I could go on for another hour. I mean, if everybody wants to stay on for another hour, we'll just keep going if that's okay with you. I know it's late in Georgia there, and it's what is it? It's 9:30 there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you gotta get up. You gotta start packing. You got friends coming up. Mm-hmm. But I do want to ask you one final question, and it'll be interesting. I can't wait to hear your answer. And it was a lot like what makes you happy. It's very unique to you. And before I do that, though, I wanted to real quickly, for those that I promised that are watching live, is how they can enter to win a 5-night stay. I don't know why my hand never is right there. 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort in Mexico by our good friends at powertexting.com. You see it on the screen if you're watching live. There are 2 ways to enter. First way is to go to a website, and that website is reachyourpeakllc.com/vacation. reachyourpeakllc.com/vacation. Or if it's easier for you, go ahead and pull out your phone and text the word peak, that's P-E-A-K, to the number 661-535-1624. Again, that's the word peak. Text that to 661-535-1624, and we will announce the winner. We will choose the winner and text you right back and give you the details of how to secure your vacation, 5-night vacation at a 5-star luxury resort. Again, by powertexting.com, my wonderful friends, Jason and Rhonda, have supplied this wonderful gift for us so that we can keep this show running. And now back to the good stuff. So go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and enter now. Now is the time to do that. Open up a new tab on your browser. Keep us going so you can hear this phenomenal answer to this pretty heavy-hitting question. Uh-oh. No, it's actually not that stressful. So here's the thing. Once again, Amélie, there is no such thing as a wrong answer.
Okay.
There's none. So that just takes all the pressure off. In fact, the only correct answer is your answer. Isn't that cool? So can there be any less pressure now?
Who knows?
All right. So in all, let's bring it down a little bit more, all seriousness, because I really want you to think about it. If you need a few seconds, that's cool. Don't worry about dead air time. It's not a big deal. Just really want to know what your feeling is on this one question, and that is, are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
All right. So, Amélie, how do you define success?
Whew. Okay, I'm gonna need a couple seconds. I believe I define success as when I am done with a certain task or a certain day, or I just lay in my bed at the end of the day and I ponder over what I did. If in that moment I feel bliss or happiness or fulfillment, I think that's success in itself. I think what I did today is in alignment with what I believe in. I think that's success.
Powerful. And I didn't mention this earlier. I don't know how many I've interviewed now. I have to go back and count. I've interviewed quite a few entrepreneurs now on this show. And it's interesting that there are no two of you that answered the same way. And to date, you are the next original answer.
Yay.
Yeah, so it's a very personal, and that's why your answer is the only right answer. And the other thing is, in addition, I already talked about this with happiness, is the one common thing, I should say, of all the past guests, including yourself, is not one of them listed or mentioned money as being, one of the highest elements of success, of their definition of success. And that's an interesting thing because I think that comes from the heart of an entrepreneur. And that's what makes an entrepreneur an entrepreneur. Say that 3 times fast. It's getting more and more difficult as I do it. Is, because entrepreneurs are here to serve others. That's the first and foremost thought in their mind. And as we serve more, we make more money. And as we make more money, we're then able to serve more. It's a beautiful cycle that just continually grows. And so a lot of people will say, money is the root of all evil. Well, that's a misquote from the Bible, actually, but a lot of people will believe that. The thing is money is not a bad thing. Money is a very good thing. Entrepreneurs should seek to earn more and more money because entrepreneurs want to serve and help more and more people. It would be a disservice to not make a ton of money. There you go. That's my last soapbox moment. Wanted to give people a means for connecting with you, for contacting you. You're going to have directors and film producers beating down your door now. So what's the best way for them to connect with you? Is it Facebook? Is it your page? Is it your email address? What would you prefer?
Either Facebook, my email, or lastly, Instagram, honestly.
Instagram. Okay, let me bring up Facebook. I like to give folks a visual, so when they go there, they know it's you.
Yeah.
I used to have this preloaded. There you are, Atlanta, Georgia. That is the one. So we want to do. All right.
There I am.
Well, look, and we're even live right there with the watch party going on. Mom is hosting a watch party. Way to go.
Ooh.
So yeah, this is what you'll see, and you can see the correct spelling. It has that little tick or accent mark above. That's why I say accent mark in Spanish in her name, and it's Amélie, not Emily.
Yes.
Hoeferle. Man, I'm getting good at that. And so this is what you'll see for now. That's her profile picture, and you dig into some of other pictures if you're not sure if it's her, and then message her with the next greatest film that you would like her to star in, and also message her with your order for sustainable smoothie because she'll get that out to you. Does that sound good?
Sounds amazing. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Amélie. This has been just so refreshing and amazing. You're an amazing young woman.
I have had so much fun.
Yes, I think I had more.
Okay, if you say so.
Oh, come on. I want to go. No, I did. No, you did. No, I did. It's been wonderful. I appreciate you. You're just a breath of fresh air. And say hi to Mom and Dad when we get done here. And for all you watching and listening live, if you're listening to the recording on a podcast or watching the video post live show, we appreciate you and your time. And be sure to check back in with us next week on the next edition of the Mind Body Business Show. For Emily Ohpolly, this is Brian Kelly saying good night for now. Blessings to all.
Goodbye.
Thank you for watching and listening. This has been the Mind Body Business Show with Brian Kelly.